Storm Tracker 9 weather with Chief Meteorologist Justin Stapleton.
Hi, Wednesday night time to put your thinking caps on, put your smartphones down. We're going to do a little learning here. Tonight's Ask the Meteorologist question comes to us from Richie and Eugene. Wanted to know, because it's been so dry out, will we see water restrictions this summer? A very good question. I can tell you, I've actually had some folks come up to me and ask me this, and starting to get a little more of this questioning over the last couple of weeks when we're noticing that we're continuing to get deeper and deeper into the end of the wet season here, and we're still not seeing any more potential rainfall. I'll show you what the records are showing in just a second, but first, here's what we've got right now, the snow water percentage of normal. And basically what this is what we call the SWE, or the snow water equivalent. And it sort of shows that all of the snow, if you melt it, how much water does that really translate to in terms of percentages? Well, the good news is that we started off the water season, the wet season, which is basically in October, November, December. We got a lot of rain and a lot of snow. That's good, because that kept our snowpack here in the Willamette Basin, which is mainly the central northern Cascades and the foothills, at about 97%. Now, this has been updated today, and we're down to around 78%, but that's still pretty good. But you notice as you get down towards the Umpqua Basin at 51%, in towards the upper Deschutes, and that's most of central Oregon at 64%, and then down towards the Klamath Basin below 30%, and the John Day Basin, which is basically John Day Mountains back east, they're at only 14%. So if I were a betting man, and we would talk about which areas may be more prone to seeing not only some possible water problems, but also some wildfire flare-up, those will be the spots we'll be watching as we head in towards wildfire season. Right now, here's what we've got. We've got temperatures. Let's actually start with the PAC satellite here, basically showing not a whole lot of change in the forecast over the next day or so. Now, we have a little bit of runoff here, just some high cloud cover trying to move on through. I'm not seeing much with that. And in fact, as that slides through tonight and early tomorrow, it's not going to do much to impact this dry stretch we've been on. In fact, from January through the end of April, we are now setting at the driest stretch for that time of year of all time, basically when they started keeping records for us, which was back in the 1880s. So we're talking well over 100 and some odd years here. Only 32% of normal for what we should be this time of year. And we've only gotten 6.5 inches of rain since the beginning of the year. You can see the other totals that were the number ones at the time pretty much blowing that one out of the water by about 1.25 inches. So something we'll definitely watch here as we head in towards the dry season in particular. Speaking of which, it has been dry out the coast. We've been watching the temperatures there holding the upper 50s today, mid to upper 60s in the coast, or in the valley now, and we're still at around 72 down in Roseburg. 50s out in the mountains and touching just close to 60 as you get out to Bend. So overnight tonight, not as cold, but still cool. We should be in the upper 30s this time of year. We're going to be a few degrees below that, around 35, mid to low 40s as you get out to the coast, and 39, and pretty much clear skies out in Roseburg. So there's our big high sitting out over just off of the Washington and Oregon coastline here. We've got a little disturbance that's going to push northward, and as this high continues to strengthen and drift northward, as we always talk about, we see the warm air pulling up from California, and you also get more of a northeasterly wind, and as that continues to push offshore, that is going to continue to dry things out and allow that warm air to move up from California. So here's what we're looking at. Temperatures will start climbing as we head in towards tomorrow, and we're likely looking at the warmest weekend that we've seen of 2013 coming Saturday and Sunday, with temperatures spiking into the 80s in spots. But then we'll be watching for an upper level low moving into Northern California next week. Good chance that one may bring not only some cloud cover back from the south, but I'm going to keep mentioning we might see a few isolated thunderstorms try to roll out of the mountains too. We'll keep an eye on that. So sunny and breezy, temperatures not bad, around the mid to upper 50s in the central coast, low 60s as you get to the south coast. Then we really start to see things warm up as we get in towards the weekend forecast. But by next week, though, that low moves close enough that we'll get some of the cloud cover moving in from the southeast. May see some drizzle at times too. So at the Umpqua Basin, we'll be looking at temperatures down in the Umpqua. Very warm for the next couple of days, back into the mid-80s by Saturday and Sunday. Could see a stray thunderstorm or two by Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to watch that pretty carefully too. In the Cascades, sunny and warm. Temperatures will be right around 60 degrees, low 70s as you get down to the foothills. Low 70s also in Bend and Redmond. Breezy tomorrow afternoon, and then a very sunny and mild 7-day forecast. A chance for thunderstorms to move in by next Monday and Tuesday. And finally, here in the valley, sunny, warmer tomorrow. Temperatures back up into the mid-70s. And guys, we'll see those overnight lows quickly jump into the 40s. And so while the sleeping weather, as I like to call it, it's been real nice. You can keep the windows open, pollen aside. As you head in towards the weekend, that 80 is going to really get things kind of stagnant inside. You open the windows up, really is not going to be that much relief, but still nice to see. If you're a fan of the warm weather, you're going to like this weekend.
I was going to say, I think these two people here on the desk are definitely kind of excited about those 80 degrees.
It will be nice.
I took a few minutes and sat out in the sun earlier, about 10 minutes, and I already got burnt.
There you go.
It doesn't take much.
Nope.
That'll be
Thanks,
like this
Justin.
weekend, yep.